right, so right quick, we got 9 people in here. We're missing one more person. Is that same guy that was asking for the server name?
Yeah, I'm. It's like searching. I don't see it coming up in the browser. Sorry.
Did you type in the bottom GG? Usually, that's easily you're gonna find it that way.
Just GG, Center.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for a minute. Sorry.
No worries. Yep, and then just in case, if you missed me earlier, just make sure you have show modded servers checked as well. But once you do that, if you just search GG, a couple servers will come up, but it's easier to find us that way.
Spawn in as a rifleman kit. Join us in the pit.
Sorry to hold you guys up. I am not seeing that show modded servers check. And I'm still not pulling it up.
Go ahead.
The other squad ups one.
So make sure you're in the custom servers browser. Then in the bottom right side, click on the filters. Make sure in the filters you should see show modded servers. Make sure that is checked.
Gosh, and I'm in servers, but I've got like favorites, recent, official, friends, internet, units.
Are you in the server browser?
Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna make sure you're in the squad server browser. That sounds like Arma.
Yeah.
Ooh, like Arma.
Oh, Arma. You're talking about Arma 3 versus something else?
Yeah. So make sure you in the game squad.
Gotcha.
That's where we're playing it.
Oh shit, that's it.
If you don't have squad, we do have Arma basics, but today's in squad.
That's my bad then. I might have squads ready to go. So.
Alright, so while you get that squared away, if you're still having issues or any sort of problems, go ahead and DM Decrum. We're going to close the floor right here so I can get the course started, because the first bit is all voice. It's all me hearing my beautiful voice. So, right here so I can get the course started.
Roger.
Tyler, I want you to go ahead, leave the squad, and join Londar's squad.
Alright, so yeah, while we continue to get that last guy in, I'd like to go ahead and kind of get this course underway. At this time, again, Discord is closed to all comms of my own. If you have any issues getting into the server from here on out, or you disconnect, go ahead and direct message our admin again, which is going to be one of your SLs, Decrum, at this time, and he'll help you get sorted out before our first practical exercise. So to begin, the course we'll be going over today includes sections regarding structure, communication, movement, and some basic infantry concepts. Once we run through all of that, and we send you guys out for a sort of trial by fire group exercise, pitting your learned skills against live combatants. So, without further ado, let's get started with some of the basics behind platoon structure. You see, within squad ops, it's key we first identify each link within our chain of command and how they relate to the operation success. Listing from the bottom up, starting with buddy teams. Buddy teams consist of 2 riflemen. It's as it is. You guys are buddies. And fire teams made up of 2 buddy teams, totaling out to 3 riflemen and a fire team leader, so 4 people in a fire team. Squads, which consist of 9 people. That's 2 fire teams and a squad leader. And then platoons, roughly 4 to 5 squads with a platoon command at the helm. Now, to take some time to further elaborate, because let's face it, just listing the element sizes doesn't really do anybody too much good. We double back and detail some of the roles within these elements, starting with platoon command. Platoon command, as they fit into the entire platoon structure, is kind of over here playing 4D chess. He controls the aforementioned 4 to 5 squads, placing them where they see fit to accomplish their overall goal, that being the given operations objective. Now, at the head of each of these squads that command controls, we step down a peg to our squad leaders, which in essence are controlling, well, kind of a matter of opinion, but realistically, it's only 2 members within their squad. They're fire team leaders. Because as the name implies, they're leading fire teams, which helps the SL control the squad more efficiently. Instead of worrying about the individual, he can instead direct his focus towards the unit as a whole. Say, for example, ordering Bravo fire team to pull security, while Charlie fire team clears the interior of a building. Now, these fire team leaders, right? Well, they're basically just riflemen that think they're better than everybody else. But of course, all jokes aside, fire team leaders, or FTLs for short, are huge assets. You might not believe me, but 8 guys are a pain in the ass to corral all by yourself when you're an SL. It's nuts. Whereas if you break them down into 2 smaller teams, you can more easily manage your assets. And by assigning fire team leaders, you could rest assured those assets will be put to good use. As those FTLs, well, they're acting as mini squad leaders. But instead of managing individual troop, instead they're managing individual troop placement, while the SL can focus on unit placement. So again, like Bravo here, Charlie there. Going with another example, as a squad leader, I'd say something like, Bravo, I need you guys moving north about 100 meters to secure that crossroads. Once there, Bravo FTL will position the individual members in key positions around said crossroads so that make sure it's secure. And finally, we have buddy teams, or more specifically, riflemen within the buddy teams. Riflemen is what you guys all are, bottom of the totem pole, realistically, and to be quite frank, their job is simply to follow orders and kill bad guys. I mean, it's super simple. Truth is, though, pretty much every role in squad is a rifleman first. So whether you're a LAT or an automatic rifleman or the FTL, you're still always going to be paired into buddy teams to further maintain that tiered effect we have going. Because, there's strength in numbers. So what I'm saying, in saying that, don't underestimate the importance of the rifleman role. You are an important asset. You are a major piece in the puzzle. Anyways, I think this is a good stopping point. What I'd like to do now is briefly turn you over to your SL so that if they haven't done so already, they can break you down into fire teams and assign fire team leaders, as well as answer any quick questions you may have regarding platoon structure. So go ahead, SLs, you guys got it handled.
All right, guys. So pretty simple. I am going to need 2 guys to step up. You're going to be FTLs today. It will require a little bit more effort on your part. Who wants to do it?
I can do it.
Great, Tank. Fantastic. Who else wants to do it?
That guy to our left.
Jen. Yeah.
I can do it all.
Great. Fantastic. Can you say your name for me? So don't fuck up.
You say Dre.
Drake. Fantastic, Drake. All right. So we have 2 fire teams today. So you can take a look at your fire teams by pressing the caps lock button or enter or whatever. I want Bravo team to be here on my right, Charlie team to be here on my left. Make it so. Inside your fire teams, you guys are going to assign buddy teams. Obviously here it's pretty simple.
Tank, you're on the other side.
Tank, yeah, you're on the wrong side.
What? Really?
No, he's on the right side. This was Bravo. That
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Right. Bravo, get the fuck over.
Yeah.
Yeah, phones are Bravo here.
Sorry about that.
Charlie here. I know I used my left and right. But remember, guys, if you turn around, left and right changes. Alright. So sometimes when we have small obviously with a small squad, sometimes we do have some adjustments. So Dre and Demundo, you guys are going to be buddies. And then the 3 of you guys in Bravo are going to be a buddy trio. So make sure to look out for both your buddies. We might get one more. In which case, Bravo, you would get to split into 2 buddy teams.
All right.
You guys have any questions for me?
Think we're good.
Dembring, how long will it take you to download squad?
4 minutes. 3:57 now.
Solid. If any sort of updates come up, make sure you let Decrum know in private message. We're still doing the course here through Discord. But I appreciate the update regardless.
All right.
All right, well, thank you guys. Jumping back in real quick, your SLs, again, will have broken you into 2 distinct fire teams, Bravo and Charlie, with their respective FTLs. It's pretty simple stuff, and I hope after that brief powwow with your SLs, you guys can come away from this feeling confident that you know our platoon structure pretty well, and how it all works, of course. So before moving on to our next section, which is actually going to be communication, I want to briefly touch up on what you should do if your squad's leadership is dead. This kind of goes hand in hand with our platoon structure. By this I mean, so let's say, take for example Decrum squad. If both your squad leader, which would be Decrum, and your FTLs, your Bravo fire team leader and your Charlie fire team leader, are both dead, and you have no contact with the outside world, because you see, as with our One Life operations, how they're structured, we only have only assigned leadership have access to command communications. So, again, if Decrum, the squad leader, and your guys' fire team leaders die, you guys don't know what to do. You can't receive or accept, accept orders. So, if this ever happens, you, as the remaining rifleman within the squad, need to decide whether you want to do either of the following. First, we have A, which is send a buddy team, so 2 guys, to act as runners to get orders from another SL or command. So in this instance, let's say you need orders from Londarts because he's still alive, but you can't talk to him in command comms. And the only way you can talk to him is in local comms. You got to run over there and kind of get an idea of what you guys need to do next. Or B, the other option is all of you perform a full tactical retreat towards the remainder of the platoon. So again, in this instance, you guys would move to the south and go regroup and basically become part of Londarts' squad. That way he can immediately give you orders as the battle, goes on. So again, your 2 options are send a buddy team to go back and forth and relay orders, or just full tactical retreat back towards to the remainder of the platoon. With that said, this of course is a perfect segue into our next section again, which is communication. But before I begin, does anybody here have any questions about structure? I did see somebody put a question queue in the all chat, so go ahead, pipe up over Discord, and let me know what you guys need clarification on.
Yeah, I was just so you can't, if you die as a squad leader, just promote some of your other guys to squad leader so they can use the comms.
So you do, but see, like, we artificially structure it to where only the Bravo fire team leader and the Charlie fire team leader have command comms. So you have a second in command and a third in command. Beyond that, if they both die, nobody else has access to command comms.
Okay, will they have access to command comms at all times, or only if the squad lead dies?
Only if the squad lead dies. Squad lead, of course, is going to have access to command comms, and if he dies and Bravo fire team leader's alive, then he has access. And then if he dies, then Charlie fire team does. After that, nobody does.
Yeah, Roger, got it.
Questions? Awesome. Okay. So that's a pretty straightforward section. Normally I would do like a quick check on learning, but as I said, we're going to kind of breeze through this. I'll ask one question real quick. If we'll try Dremundo, because apparently we're familiar with you. You were participating in the op last night, which is cool.
Yeah.
Can you remind us real quick what the platoon structure is, as in so like from We'll start from the top to the bottom. There should be only 4 sections of like importance, I should say.
Yep. First one is platoon command, then squad leader, then fire team, and riflemen.
Oh, yeah, you killed it. Perfect. Thank you. That is exactly what I was looking for. Simple enough. Structure is very. It's long-winded because I like to talk, but it's very simple. So with that said, I think we're good to move on to communication. So, communication. Let's begin first by briefly going over the 3 comms channels in Squad, in case anybody here is unfamiliar, because, well, a lot of times people go through SOT Basic and they're brand new to Squad. So in that case, you see we have local, squad, and command comms, which are V, B, and G respectively. Local being general purpose, where you do most of your talking. Maybe you're trying to guide someone in on a target using bearings, or perhaps you want to discuss this week's episode of, I don't know, Loki. I don't know, whatever's new, and why it's so frustrating. I don't know. This is basically anything goes on local comms, provided the situation, I should say, because we've heard many times that it's like people kind of ruin the experience. Local, still at the end of the day, anything goes, but it's still we expect people to take it somewhat seriously. So again, it's like, oh, you're trying to guide somebody in. Oh, hey, you're talking to your AR and you want them to shoot 165. You're going to tell them that in local. Now, however, sometimes the person you're speaking to is too far away. How you would relay that information then is through squad comms. That, of course, is only 4 people in your squad. Anybody who's green or purple or whatever fire team you're in, they're going to be able to hear you in squad comms. But so like in the case of it's not Tyler, anybody in Decram's squad isn't going to be able to hear what he says when he holds down B. It can get a little cramped, so we encourage people to only use squad comms for pertinent information such as contact reports, very essential information. Because the thing is, the third communications channel, we've done, we talked about it before. Command comms can get kind of chaotic. You've got, in Londart's case, let's say you guys were a full squad. He's got 8 guys trying to tell him something. Most often, he's got 4 other squad leaders trying to tell him something, and a commander trying to tell him something. It's hell on earth. There's a lot going on. So being tidy and only giving out pertinent information through squad comms is kind of essential. So now that we got that out of the way, again, this is just kind of for the newer players. Let's get into some terms we could use to improve your overall communication skills. Starting with what we call the ABCs, which stand for accuracy, brevity, and clarity. We want you to keep it accurate, brief, and clear with all of your communications, ideally. Keep it tidy and to the point. Make sure what you say is accurate to what you saw. So that's your A. Keep it brief, short and to the point. You don't want to hear a long-winded sentence like I'm giving you right now. And of course, speak clearly. We don't want to hear you mumbling, talking through your shirt, sounding, like you're depressed and tired. Using your ABCs is to ensure everyone can comprehend what you're saying at all times. For example, contact, direct east, about 100 meters, multiple infantry. Notice I said what I saw in a brief statement without too much unnecessary fluff. Another thing to point out is I use my 3 Ds, which actually brings me to our next acronym. But before we get to that, just remember, keeping it accurate, brief, and clear. Again, your ABCs. Anyways, so the 3 Ds, right? I hear none of you ask. Well, they stand for direction, distance, and description. It's important to note that order as well. Always direction first, then distance, then description. This is kind of a hard thing for people to kind of grasp at first. You want to make sure, again, direction, then distance, then description. Because imagine hearing contact, infantry, and then nothing else. You guys don't quite know what's going on, right? The thing is, going back to what we are, of course, is we're a one-life community. So if you die mid-contact report, that's it. Cut comms, stop talking. You're kind of breaking the rules in essence if you keep going. So that's why the order is so important. You get the most important information out first. Better to know where to look before knowing how far to look, and especially before knowing what you're looking for. Anyway, right? So direction first. This means we actually want you guys to spit out a cardinal direction. Why cardinal? Well, it's because the further someone is from you, again, going back to like the split squads kind of scenario, the further someone is away from you, the less accurate a bearing will be. It's also a whole lot easier to orient yourself, but more importantly, all those around you should be able to look in the same general direction, despite the distance between you. If someone in Londart's squad says, contact 150, the guys in Decram's squad are going to be looking at a completely different thing. But if they say contact southeast, it's not entirely accurate, but it's close enough to where everybody's looking that same general direction, and it may take a second for everybody to get on target. Next is distance. Once you've called the general direction, you want to give a good approximation of distance so your buddies can know how far to look. We ask that you give it your best shot using meterage. Sure, you could say close and far, but remember the A in ABCs. We want to be as accurate as possible. So when someone isn't close enough to say throw a grenade at your feet, or too far to reasonably engage, you want to give your best guess. So contact east, roughly 200 meters. You could easily say that. That's basically what we're looking for. It doesn't have to be 100% precise, but if it's close enough, you're golden. And so then finally, you want to add a description. Something simple, of course. I'm not interested in their hair color. I just want to know if it's infantry or an MRAP, and obviously how many there are. After you get the important information out, we always encourage adding additional descriptors at the end if you feel it's needed. For example, contact west, about 100 meters, infantry near the BTR on the slope. That's a solid contact report, and there's so much information in there in maybe 2-3 seconds at most. With that said, it's all pretty simple stuff. Remember your ABCs and your 3Ds, which again are direction, distance, and description. And I'm sorry I missed it with the ABCs. It's accurate, brief, and clear. So now before I release you to your SLs to practice, let's pause a moment and notice before all of my examples, I preface the contact report with a simple contact. Let me just say you'll hear this a lot. This is kind of an unwritten squad ops rule. We don't have it written anywhere, obviously, but contact is what we start every single contact report with. Remember the voices in your SL's head? I was saying, he's got 8 guys in his squad and a ton of squad leaders talking to him. Well, contact, if you start your report with contact, it makes it easier for your SL to kind of drown out everything else. That sharp contact, we're all tuned to block out everything but the message you're trying to convey when we hear that. So again, remember, contact, then your 3Ds. With that said, SLs, I'm going to turn it over to you guys, and we'll get you guys applying your newly found knowledge.
All right, guys. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing your contact reports. Remember, you're going to preface with the word contact and direction, distance, description in that order. We're going to be using mostly smokes, but call out when you make a call out. Make sure you call what it is, what direction it is, what color it is, etc. All right, we're going to start with Radio Kai. Give it to me.
Contact east, blue smoke.
You forgot distance. Try one more time. Direction, distance, description.
Contact east, about 100 meters, blue smoke.
Perfect. So just for you guys' reference, that back wall of rocks over there, that is exactly 100 meters from us. So you can use that to check your distances. Alright, Tank, you had a question. Did you get your question answered?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Give me a contact report. Contact
I
can be
didn't see
in
where
any
that landed.
direction.
Behind you.
Look around.
Contact, red smoke, direction 243, 10 meters. I did that all wrong.
All right. You
Let
did
me-
that a little
like-
wrong. Try it one more time. Remember, it's direction, distance, description.
Contact 250, 10 meters, red smoke.
All right, and we don't want to use those specific bearing. We want to use cardinal directions. So instead of 150, maybe you say west by southwest.
Ah, okay, got it.
All right, try it one
Okay,
more time.
yeah. Contact west southwest, 20 meters, red smoke.
Awesome. All right, hey, you got something a little bit more complicated to try to find? Give it to me. Nope. There is no red smoke to the southeast. That's not what I could call. That's not what I shot.
I think it's the guy to the east.
Yeah, I think it's an actual guy.
He shot a guy from his grenade launcher.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Contact.
Perfect. Your distance is a little bit off. That's closer to. It's a little bit less than 50 meters, but that's all right. All right, Drema. Hold one. Dembring, grab a rifleman kit, spawn in, and get over here quickly. Give it to me.
Contact east. About 100 meters, red smoke.
Perfect. All right. Demundo.
Yep. Yeah, contact northwest, about 20 meters, and west smoke.
All right. All right, Dembring, go ahead and find your other guys in Bravo team. Tank, you're going to assign buddy teams in a little bit. Dembring, we're going to use your contact report, as you heard, direction, distance, description, on the smoke that I'll fire. Give it to me.
Contact southeast, 50 meters.
Description.
Oh, smoke.
Perfect. Let's just one more time.
Contact east, 100 meters, smoke.
Perfect. You guys have any questions? All right, Bravo team, go ahead and assign buddy teams.
Right. I'll buddy up with Dembring, and you two guys buddy up together. Dembring, get over here.
Dembring, go ahead and go over to your guy.
Yeah, so we're about of bodies.
80?
Wait,
Okay. I just thought of one.
What's up?
What's a good way to find out a good estimate of how many meters away somebody is or contacted?
Best way to do that is to practice. So the best way I've found for practicing is to use the Grenadier kit on a public match and shoot smokes at enemies. And try to work on actually zeroing in exactly where it is. The better you get at that, the better you'll be at identifying ranges.
I have another way. If you just use the map, you see the grids. They are 300 by 300 meter squares, and you can reference what you see where the enemy is. So say, okay, that BTR over there is by the road, and the road is about 200 meters from where we are.
Those are the big squares, like all zoomed out.
Yeah, the big squares, there are 300 by 300 meters. So if you see something that you recognize with your eyes, you can look on the map. Okay, that must be that road or that house, and you can kind of estimate-ish how far away it is.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to like figure out exactly where it is. To get, if you want to practice getting a good idea, playing around with the Grenadier kit is the best way I've found to practice that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Alrighty, guys. Great job there. It looks like we had to wait for one person. We'll run through him a little bit later, just so we can kind of keep in time. I honestly say you guys did a good job. If your SLs did great at making sure you guys had it down pat. So, with that said, I'd say we're safe to move on. But before we move on to our next section, being movement, I have one last communication pet peeve we SOC guys like to kind of touch up on, and that is how to respond. So let me preface this by saying, by no means are these phrases something that you're required to use. As I said in the beginning, we don't beg for like, oh yes sir, no sir kind of thing. This isn't the real military. We're here to somewhat replicate it in the video game universe, but we're not going to make you say any of this stuff. With that said, I'm not military. If you haven't guessed already, I worked in Hollywood. I worked in TV. I actually worked in the office. So when I came into squad ops, I mixed my terms up quite a bit. For example, Stalker, are you still alive? Somebody asked me that, and I replied once with copy. To those of you that are already in the know, you probably think like, what a fucking moron. That sounds goofy. Well, that's what we're trying to kind of save you from right now. So very brief, affirm and negative would be used to respond to a question. So affirm being yes, negative being no. Copy or roger are commonly used to say you understand what's been said. And finally, we have wilco, which is short for will comply, meaning I will do that. I'm like, yeah, go take that rock there to the east. Wilco, I'll do that. And I mean, that's it, really. I mean, those are like super simple things, but like understanding that is kind of a nice thing to know if you don't already. Like I said, so very brief. Before we go on to our next section, does anybody here have any questions about communication?
I have one.
Go for it.
Is there a phrase to use when you didn't hear what someone said? So if someone's like talking over and you couldn't hear them?
So that's actually something I should probably add to what I tell people. I've heard this is kind of a pet peeve for a lot of military guys. I'll hear people say, repeat last. That's not a thing. It literally, if you just say again, comes off clear. Comes off clear, perfect, good to go. So just say again,
For those who don't know, repeat last is an artillery term, and you're essentially asking for the same ordnance to be sent again.
Exactly. See, and I don't know that. I'm not military, so yeah, say again is often what you hear anybody say, and that's usually the accepted term. Anybody else have any questions? Maybe about the 3Ds, ABCs? Cool.
Like, do you just with the 3Ds? Because just saying, because I'm active member, but we always say it the other way around. So you say what you see first, and then you say direction, and then distance. Because like you said, in the middle of a contact report, you lose your you're only able to say distance, but it's better to say that like it's a BTR so that people know that they're fighting BTRs or infantry rather than where it is. Just my opinion, but I'll try my best to the other way around.
Honestly, that's been my opinion for a while too. But so what I've heard is that this was designed off of Army basic training, like long ago, before even my time. And I do understand what they're saying, where we want to get direction first because we want to make sure everybody's online seeing what's going on. But I do understand what you're saying as well, because it's like if you say it's a BTR first, well, then everybody knows if you're a rifleman, you're not going to look at the fucking BTR. You're going to hide. But
Yeah.
yeah, I will say, in the heat of the battle, it's all super situational. But ideally, we want to make sure that it is direction, then distance, then description. But I see what you're saying. So if it is a BTR, I guess it would be appropriate to say it's a BTR, and you all want to get the hell down.
Yeah, it's just I'm not in the U.S. Army, so maybe that's where they got this from. But we just do it differently, so it's a bit of a tongue twister for me because I have to say everything backwards.
Something also to note there. Typically in squad ops formation, we're using small unit tactics. You can get hit from any side because you may or may not actually have friendlies on your flanks. So the direction can be the most important piece of information to know where you should be taking cover from. If you're online looking north and you see something to the east saying there's a BTR, they all might just get in cover and be exposed to that BTR.
Yeah, I guess it's situational.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
In fact, that's actually kind of a spoiler for a concept we cover a bit actually in the next 10 minutes, and you'll see exactly why the direction, then distance, then description kind of thing works out. So with that said, we kind of ran through questions there. Again, I love to do check on learning, but I also talk a lot, so we're going to go ahead and move on to movement. Sorry. So like I said before, we're going over movement. So if you guys could go ahead and follow your SLs and stepping away from your base to the west, I want you guys lining up shoulder to shoulder facing west on the yellow line in the middle of the street. So I know your parents told you look both ways, but
Shoulder to shoulder facing west.
Bravo to my right.
West is towards
Bravo
me,
to my
please.
right.
okay, cool. So we got you guys mostly set up
Shoulder
right
to
here.
shoulder is shoulder shoulder. Come on.
Right quick, I'd like y'all to understand real quick, these are some very, very basic formations we'll be going over. Of course, there are more that exist out there, but at the end of the day, it's down to the SL with how you get set up. But these right here are the most common and easy to understand. Most SLs are going to want one of these three. But again, there's like echelon formation, whatever. So I'm an aviation fanatic, so that's what I'm going to use as an example. But yeah, it's three things. We have a line, a file, and a staggered column. What we have you guys set up in right now is what we call a line. Think of it like the American Civil War, or I guess for our European comrades, like the Napoleonic Wars, right? Everybody standing in a line, all guns facing contact. Super common, super easy to understand. Again, so yeah, you're all in a line. In essence, it's all about maximizing firepower here. All guns facing in one direction, ready to unleash a hailfire upon the enemy. This right here is as basic can get. At the point of contact, every element should strive to form into a line so that all bodies can effectively engage the enemy. So no matter what formation you're in, whatever your SL wants you to do, if you're all bunched up, looking goofy, and you start taking contact, you want to end up in a line. Again, super simple. All weapons facing contact. Now before our next formation, because that is as simple as it can get, can anybody tell me what's wrong with how we have you set up currently, in this line formation? Just pipe up over Discord. I guarantee you one of you might get it right.
My
We're
SL
very
feel
close together. We're bunched up.
I heard that from a few people. Yeah, bunched up, too close together, spacing, etc.
One grenade.
One grenade. Exactly. So we call that spacing. You guys are way too close to one another. This isn't basketball. You're not going hard in the paint. You're not Shaq trying to, fuck it, right? Think of it like social distancing for infantry and explosives. You guys want to spread it out. Ideally, you want to maintain about 15 meters of spacing between you and your nearest friendly, so to counter the Op 4's multi-kill potential. You want to make sure at worst, a single grenade will kill only one of you. So right quick, SLs, I'm going to have you guys spread them out. Make sure you guys are 15 meters apart.
Okay, it's pretty simple. We're just going to start running this way. Come on.
Right quick, while they are spreading you out, if you're confused about what 15 meters might look like, take a quick look at your map and zoom in. Those squares, they're roughly 30-ish meters apart, so if one of you guys standing over a white line and the other is about halfway in the middle of the square, well, you're about 50 meters away from each other.
There you go. Stand there. Next guy is gonna be here. Next
Further back,
guy
guys. Further back. Further back. Further back.
is here. Perfect.
More longer.
You're already in the right spot.
So if you guys noticed, look on your map, zoom all the way in, you will see that you are either on a white line or you're halfway in between white lines. That means you are 16.5 meters apart. That's close enough to 15 for government work, so go ahead and take a look around you, memorize this distance. This is your safe distance.
Cool. So now that we got you guys spaced out properly, hopefully you guys are still facing west as you guys are still in a line formation. Again, capable of having all guns pointed at the enemy. So real quick, if you guys could, I'm actually going to move you to the next formation and have you face north. Everybody face north. Turn 90 degrees from the west, face north. Once we're all in line checking out the next guy's back, you'll be in what is known as a file. Much like standing in line at Disneyland, waiting to get on fucking, what is it, that Star Wars Rise of the Resistance? God, that line is long. You guys are just following the next person ahead of you. The key advantage behind a file is, of course, you keep a low profile, but more importantly, you get where you're going very quickly. You just follow the leader. There are, of course, some drawbacks. No amount of spacing will save you from, say, a machine gun to the front, which is only made worse by the fact that you guys can't effectively engage that said machine gun. You got to shoot through the next guy. The only person who can effectively engage at this point would be, I think it's Heidi. Yeah, Heidi. Nobody else can really do so well if you don't want to kill your friendlies, of course. So, again, the key advantage is you get somewhere fast, you're just following the leader, you stay low, you're quick. But of course, you're not as combat effective as you would be in, say, a line, or our next formation, which again is a staggered column. So, if everybody can go ahead and make like a zipper, you're going to move to opposite sides of the road, meaning that the first guy will move to the west edge of the road, then the second to the east, alternating until we're properly formed up into a staggered column.
All right, Heidi, go ahead, move all the way over here to this side. No, just right here. Right in front of me. There you go. Then you goes that way. And you go that way. You go that way. Look at that. It's like you've done this. Good job, guys.
All right, so you guys are all formed up in the staggered column. So the staggered column allows for quick and easy movement, just like the file, while also offering ample protection in 360-degree radius. In a 360-degree radius, all angles in theory should be covered, provided the guys on point are covering the front, the fellows in the back are providing rear security, and everyone in between is covering their respective side. Now, when set up this way, everyone within the platoon or squad or whatever size element you guys are in can effectively engage the enemy no matter where you're taking contact from. Ideally, actually, when you think about it, you have full 360 degree, maybe like 1 or 2 degrees is blocked by one guy, but it really doesn't make a difference in a firefight. Everybody can look all around. Oftentimes, this is actually used for, like, say, convoys, right? You got, MRAPs in the middle, and you're providing security, making sure your MRAPs don't get clapped by an RPG. So again, 360-degree coverage, but it's still just as easy as a file to follow the guy in front. Oftentimes, a squad leader will have, say, so I had you guys go to the west and east side of the road. On the west side of the road, there'll be Bravo fire team, and on the east side of the road, there'll be Charlie fire team. Super cool. I love it. I love using this. With that said, while we have you all formed up like this, make sure you're covering your given sector. So right quick, if you guys could all go ahead, look wherever the hell you want, as long as you know it's going to benefit the platoon security, call it out in local so the guys around you know, like, oh, hey, I'm looking east. So the guy within 15 meters knows not to look east. He should look southeast or northeast.
Check northeast.
North.
Northwest.
I'm observing.
Awesome. All right, so I heard everybody calling it out. You guys look good. Let me double check here. Yeah. Again, making sure. So if you're on the west side of the road, you're looking west. If you're on the east side of the road, you're looking east. If you're rear security, you're looking south. And if you're at the front, you're looking north. Basically, how can I think of? It's like those guys, the Romans 300, whatever. Making sure nobody can creep up on you. Okay. So while you guys are in this position, we're going to conduct a brief exercise regarding how to react to contact. This is what I alluded to earlier when I said, the 3 Ds. Under my direction, it's just going to be a quick little thing. We're going to pretend there's contact to the east, and I'm going to say bang, bang in Discord, indicating that you have just taken contact. Upon hearing that, I want you to all conduct the following actions. Again, when I say bang, bang, you will turn towards the perceived contact. In this case, again, it's to the east. And I want you to make some firing noises in local comm, whatever the hell you want. You could be dead silent, I don't give a shit. Fire back at the enemy with your pretend guns. Don't pull out your guns. As soon as you do that, find immediate cover. Dive into a ditch or get behind a sandbag, whatever the hell you need to do to get safe. Then I want you to issue a contact report in local comms. For this exercise, again, the contact is to your east. Then you're free to make the rest up. Do whatever the hell you want. I just want to hear you all say contact east. After you issue that contact report, I want you all to get on the yellow line, facing east in a platoon line. I know I talked fast. I hope that's clear. Let's see how it goes. Ready? Bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Bang. Contact.
Bang, bang,
Bang,
bang,
bang.
bang.
East. 200 meters. BTR.
Contact. East. 75 meters.
Contact east. About 100 meters. Red smoke.
Turn fire, guys.
Gratata.
All right, ceasefire. Well, cease imaginary fire, right? Great job. All right, most of you guys got that. That's good. That means I don't talk too fast. So remember, it's kind of like a quick little introduction. The recap is, when reacting to contact, it's important to return fire first, find cover, then issue your contact report. After you issue your contact report, then you can get back online with the unit to return fire, or, like we were talking about earlier, in the case of a BTR and you don't have a LAT, hide, fuck it, but you know where they are. Does anybody have any questions about that, or rather, any of what we covered in the movement section?
I have a question. What is urban? What do we do for urban warfare, like formation wise?
Formation wise, it's probably going to be the staggered column, as actually in one of the next concepts we cover, you'll do something what is called bounding by building. So like one team's covering while the other team is clearing the building. But like a specific formation isn't necessarily clear because you guys are going to be moving as fire teams. And it's actually something we cover in depth in our CQC course, which is fucking awesome. It's not required, but it's super fun.
I have another question.
Go for it.
If, say you take shots and you know which direction they're coming from, but nothing else, is something like, say, contact east, no visual, an appropriate call out?
Absolutely. Contact east. You took a shot from the east because, hey, what if it's friendlies? You got to have somebody get online and see what's going on. An appropriate response would be, contact east. I have no idea what it is. Whatever fits the ABCs, I should say.
If I could just add quickly, Stalker, you want to give some sort of indication of how far you think that is away, that contact. because there's a big difference to how your squad or your buddy pair or your fight team or your platoon is going to react versus if you think that's 50 meters away versus 1,000 meters away. So give some sort of estimate, close, far, just something along with the just basic contact east.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I've said many a times, contact east, and I'll literally say it like that. 100 meters, small arms, and that's kind of appropriate. It's kind of realistic. It kind of fits the bill.
Question. Do you guys not go over squad column fire team wedge or the diamond formation for urban movements up into compounds or buildings?
More or less, that's covered in CQC and advanced, as these are very basic level formations.
Gotcha.
Cool thing is that if there's any sort of like, I guess I'll call it fancy formation, your SL will tell you what he wants, and hey, we're pretty on point with that kind of stuff. Cool. So I've actually never gotten this many questions about movement, so this is kind of cool. I like this. But with that said, I think it's good to move on to our final, real section, which is basic infantry concepts. If you guys go ahead and follow your SLs over here to these HESCOs, there's a big stack of HESCOs.
Come over here. Stand on these HESCOs.
Holy cow, my game lagged. Okay, yeah, there's HESCOs. Go ahead and stand on them. Just make sure you can't fall. Don't move. We want
what it is you're calling out.
If you're on the first level and you can't see shit, go ahead and hop up top. It doesn't matter. It's just so you can see everything, but keep keep movement to a minimum.
Description's a bit nebulous. There's a lot of rocks
so
out
you're
there.
not
It doesn't give an indication of which
you're not
rocks
falling
are
off and getting shot in the forehead. While we get everybody here, make sure you have a good line of sight. Up top, yada yada yada.
Hello.
We want to welcome you guys here to our SOTT short range. We're going to be using this location here to showcase a few things such as fire rates, the concept of consistent fire, and another concept known as bounding, which I briefly touched up on earlier. So yeah, let's just jump right into it as we begin with fire rates. I'm going to have my two SLs here get up in their slots. I don't know where Lawn Darts is. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, so getting right into it, we've got single rate of fire and high volume of fire. Neither meaning full auto, or rather cyclic fire. As for those of you who are in the know, cyclic, full auto. So to begin, I'm actually going to start with Lawn Darts here. That's why I was looking for him. We'll go ahead and demonstrate single rate of fire, which is a nice low and slow rate of fire where the recoil comes to a rest between each shot. This, of course, allows you to provide accurate fire over longer ranges, typically at a single target. So Lawn Darts, if you go ahead and demonstrate by hitting all those targets down range.
Contact south 35 meters, 3 times infantry.
Cease fire. All right, so starting off a little fast for my taste, but you know what? He was still accurate. That's the point, right? Notice the targets were hit most, if not every time. That's because they were, Lawn Darts allowed his recoil to come to a rest before firing again, ensuring an accurate shot can be made. Again, this is typically for long-range targets, single targets, etc. You want to make sure that you are accurate, keeping your fire rate low, conserving ammo, and hitting your target on point. Again, that's so single rate of fire. Moving on to high volume, we're going to have Decrum now demonstrate. He'll be showing you how when you pick your rate of fire up roughly 3 to 4 times the speed of single rate, you're considerably less accurate. However, you have the added benefit of improved suppression. Your enemy is just as afraid of dying as you are. So under such a high volume of semi-accurate fire, they are less inclined to peek from behind cover to engage you or your friendlies. So Decrum, if you go ahead and show them what it's all about.
Contact south, 30 meters, infantry.
Cease fire. Thank you very much, Decrum. Notice here now, he ramped up his fire rate quite a lot, and as a consequence, missed a few of the targets, a few of his bullets, I should say. again, the intent isn't so much to kill with high volume of fire as it is to suppress. But of course, it's perfectly useful when dealing with close range enemies as well. And now, with that said, I'm actually going to show you why we prioritize high volume of fire over cyclic fire. I'm going to call out contact here at the end of the range, at which point my SLs will open fire at the same time. However, lawn darts will be using cyclic fire, whereas Decrum will be using high volume of fire. Both will not stop firing until Decrum is out of ammo. Right, yeah, super simple, sorry. So yeah, one's gonna be using cyclic, the other's gonna be using high volume. They're gonna fire until Decrum is out of ammo, and we're gonna show you exactly why we still prioritize high volume over cyclic. Go ahead, guys. Contact south 30 meters, infantry. Alright, ceasefire. Cool. So, there's a bit of a miscommunication there, but to my point, almost exactly what happened is, well, what I expected to happen. Decrum went through a single magazine. Lawn darts went through 2. Took a little longer to reload than I expected, but you know what? The point still stands. You see, you burn through a lot of ammo. So, in one life operations, opportunity for resupply is very limited. Oftentimes, what you spawn in with is what you get. If you run out of ammo, well, you're shit out of luck. Realistically, yeah, no, that's the truth. Which is why we demonstrate this exactly. Not only was lawn darts considerably less accurate, well, I don't know actually. Lawn dart might be a crack shot. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. He also burned through twice the ammo in that time. Well, when he was forced to reload. So my point here is try to refrain from using cyclic fire, unless it's like your oh shit button, it's your oh shit handle. You got to kill somebody who's like on your shit. They're holding hands with you, or you're clearing a building. It's got to be a real CQC environment for cyclic to even remotely make sense. Now, moving on, I'm pretty sure you guys heard me giving some fire commands during those demonstrations. Specifically, I said ceasefire. But we also have open fire, which is pretty self-explanatory. It means to start shooting. And we have ceasefire, which means to stop shooting. And check fire. You didn't hear that for sure. But that means, to stop firing and to, watch what you're firing and to correct it. So if you're prone to blue on blue, think of like that. Yeah, no, that's it. If you're prone to killing friendlies, blue and blue might be common for you. Now, if I could have your attention a bit further down the range, we have a few examples of cover. This is our next concept, so to speak. We have hard cover, which is like this Hasco here. This is hard cover. This is like a thick-ass tree, Hasco, something that's super, super thick. Nothing's going to get through this at all. Then we have soft cover, such as this corrugated tin or a plywood fence, anything super thin that basically anything can go through. And then we have, just standard cover. This is such as this sandbag. This is going to be a thinner tree or hell. It's kind of hard to come up with examples there, but this is going to stop small arms, but larger rounds such as 30 mic or like how lawn darts hopped on that 50 is going to give this sandbag a run for its money. So, I'm going to go ahead and take cover first behind this Hasco. Lawn darts is going to open fire with that 50 cal, and you're going to see I am completely unfazed. Go ahead. Stand up a little bit. Look, he can't get me. Hard cover. Nothing's getting through. Whereas, I'm going to move to the sandbag and probably going to die, which is a bit distracting. But go ahead, lawn darts, fire through the sandbag. Yeah, dead. Decrum, if you can go ahead and take position behind that sandbag. And then lawn darts is going to fire with his M4. Completely unfazed. Go ahead and ceasefire, lawn darts. And then now Decrum, move behind the corrugated tin. Now, I'm not going to fire my rifle just yet, but my rifle is definitely going through that. Now, depending on the range, it might do a little less damage, but ideally, soft cover like that is here to, let's take cover behind sandbags, lawn darts, is to mostly stop shrapnel. So a grenade, anything like that, it's going to save his life. But if I shot him with my M4, I'm going to shoot him in his legs. Notice he takes a bit of damage. So just kind of take note of the difference between hard cover, soft cover, and standard cover. Standard cover is going to stop small arms, but not necessarily something massive like a 50 cal or a 30 mic. Hard cover is going to stop absolutely everything, and soft cover is going to give shrapnel from grenades or HE rounds a hard time, but it's not going to save you from an AK or an M4.
Thank you.
Wrapping up on cover, remember that all cover is concealment. That's something that I didn't talk about just yet. All cover is concealment. It's going to hide you from the enemy, but not all concealment is cover. See here, I'm laying in this bush. Some of you might not be able to see me, but this is concealment. It's gonna keep me hidden from the enemy, just as a sandbag or a Haskell would, but it's definitely not cover. It's not even soft cover. It's an AR-15 M4 is gonna shit on me because it doesn't protect me. So. Yeah, you have 3 different types of cover, essentially, and then you have concealment. But remember, all cover is concealment, but not all concealment is cover. I'm sure some of the closer guys can definitely see me, but the further away guys cannot, or might not. So just remember that difference. A bush isn't going to save your life, but it's going to keep you from being seen. Sandbag will most likely save your life. Get it? Cool. All right. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump back into fire rates for a moment to now cover a concept known as consistent fire, oftentimes referred to as talking guns. It's a way you can keep the enemy from showing their face for prolonged periods of time, potentially allowing friendlies to move more freely throughout the battle space. The idea here is my 2 SLs, after calling contact, they're going to call contact, will open fire on targets, ensuring there is never any break in the fire. So without further ado, I'll let my SLs just demonstrate straight away, since we've done this a million times, and we'll deconstruct afterwards.
Contact south, 30 meters, infantry.
Roger, engaging.
Reloading. Gun up.
Reloaded. Gun up.
Alright, ceasefire, ceasefire. So in line with how we did the react to contact thing earlier, Dekram saw contact, he opened fire immediately, called his contact, and then Laundarts was able to get online and go, okay, well, now I need to shoot him now, right? And then they had consistent fire down. Dekram then did what we call is a tactical reload, meaning he reloaded halfway through his magazine, so to offset reloads moving forward. When Dekram's gun was down, Laundarts, heard that and was like, okay, I'm going to pick up fire. I'm going to pick up my rate of fire. And then once he had to reload, he called reloading. Dekram was like, okay, and picked up his rate of fire. And they alternated rate of fire throughout, maintaining consistent fire. Notice there as well, they always called when they were reloading and when their gun was up. Communication is key here. Going back to our communication section, letting your friendlies know exactly what you're doing is kind of a key thing you can do on Battlefield. Letting them know, okay, I'm reloading, I'm moving, I'm doing this. So again, in talking guns, let you guys know around you when you're reloading and when your gun is up, and yeah, pretty straightforward. Do my SLs have anything else to kind of touch up on that? Kind of lost myself.
I think you're pretty good there.
Cool, awesome. Okay. Ideally, it's a way you can keep the enemy from showing their face again for prolonged periods of time. It's multiple people providing consistent, high volume of fire. That's what it is, yeah. So now, moving on to our final concept, which is bounding. This is my favorite thing. I fucking love bounding. They're going to incorporate everything that we went over thus far in our basic infantry concepts, but apply it to movement, which is awesome. So yeah, take my 2 SLs here, who will be representing Bravo Fire Team Leader and Charlie Fire Team Leader. There are two different types of bounding: bounding through and bounding to. Think of bounding through like walking 1 foot in front of the other, and bounding to like walking with a limp. For those of you or whoever asked about CQC earlier, bounding to is typically preferred in CQC environments. So yeah. As you might have guessed, bounding is movement. I'm going to have my SLs only demonstrate bounding through today just for the sake of time. But of course, each has its own benefit. For instance, when I SL, I like to organize my squad where I have an assault fire team and a base of fire team. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but basically one fire team has all the automatic riflemen and the other is regular riflemen or, breachers. And so I'll have them do what is bounding to. I'll have my ARs ready to cover the guys that are moving. And they're moving to each other. Some other SLs might like fire teams, therefore they might exclusively. But again, for today's exercise, I'm going to have both of them just bounding through. So SLs, I think you guys have yourselves squared away. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and demonstrate. We'll do a little debriefing afterwards.
Contact south, 30 meters. Engage.
Roger. Bravo is set.
Charlie reloading. Charlie moving. Charlie set.
Reloading. Bravo moving. Bravo set.
Charlie reloading. Charlie moving. Charlie set.
Reloading. Bravo moving.
Alright, ceasefire. Thank you guys. Perfect. Awesome. I'm coming through, right? Yep. Okay. So, yeah. That was perfect. These are some pretty experienced instructors. If you guys love them, let me know. Anyways. So, first and foremost, I would say they killed it. They everything was perfect. They communicated. So sorry about that. So they communicated when and who was moving every step of the way. They communicated when they were reloading, and notice that before moving, they reloaded because in squad you can't reload while running. So, and the point of bounding is to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So before they moved, Decrum was like, okay, so Charlie reloading, and then Charlie moved into his next position because Bravo is covering him. Pretty straightforward. I'm actually going to have Delondarts go ahead and go back to where you were, eliminating the final contact. We're going to have you guys bounding away from contact. We'll do a little bit more debrief there. There's a few things I want you guys to notice when they're bounding away from contact that, it's essential. So, yeah, we're just going to have them run through that real quick, and we'll...
Contact close south. Engage.
Bravo set.
Charlie moving. Charlie set.
Reloading. Bravo moving. Bravo set.
Charlie reloading. Charlie moving. Charlie set.
Alright, ceasefire. I'm going to call a ceasefire here. Alright, thank you guys. Perfect once again. Go ahead and one more time recap. So notice again, they communicated everything from when and what unit was moving to when that same unit was set and ready to cover. Additionally, they never moved whilst reloading and moved from cover to cover at a standing full sprint. It's all about moving quickly, no matter which method, be it bounding to or bounding through, and bounding towards contact or away from contact. So, when bounding away from contact, one thing I wanted you guys to notice was that when you're bounding away from contact, you see when you're bounding 2, you're like, okay, it's easy to get behind cover. Well, when bounding away from contact, you want to make sure that you're going around the cover because you want to be quick and getting behind cover. You don't want to be caught standing on the wrong side like a moron because they're going to shoot you. You're bounding away and hiding. Set, moving. Set, you're away, in cover, not getting shot in the face. Or the ass in this instance, I guess. Anyways, that's going to wrap things up over here at our short range. Before I break you guys off back to your squads, does anybody have any questions so that this next little exercise runs super smoothly? Yes. All right. Well, if you do happen to come up with any questions, feel free to ask your SLs while you're going through the next exercise. I'm going to have your SLs take you back to your original stations. They're going to run you through an exercise with bounding by fire teams. Exactly what you saw with your squad leaders, with those squad leaders, but by fire team elements. Be sure to listen to your fire team leaders and your squad leaders as you do so.
Alright guys, Bravo over here, Charlie over here. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a bounding exercise. We're going to be moving in a live fire bounding exercise. We're going to be moving up to the rocks down there and back, utilizing natural and unnatural cover in between. What we're going to be doing is the fire team leaders are going to be calling out fire team Bravo set, Charlie moving, Bravo moving. While you run out of ammo inside your fire teams, I want you to be calling a reloading and gun up. What's going to happen is we're going to start off with Charlie suppressing for Bravo, and Bravo's going to move, and then Charlie's going to stay here, and then Charlie's going to bound past or through to the next location, running past the Bravo fire team. Anyone have any questions? Alright, the question you should ask is, what are we shooting at? You're shooting at the smoke rounds that I'll be shooting. So whenever I see smoke, whenever you guys see a new plume of smoke in the firing area, I want you to call a contact report on it and shift fire onto that smoke. Any questions?
So how would that be said?
So you might say contact southeast 10 meters, red smoke, and then you shoot at it.
And then shift fire, or you have to call a shift fire, or you just no?
You don't call shift fire. You call the contact report.
Copy.
You will shift your fire onto that point. Shift fire is typically used for MGs. If an MG is lighting up a hill, squad lead might say shift fire a little bit to the left behind the tree. So you can zero in on someone who doesn't have optics. Any other questions?
Okay, so we're moving up as the fire team.
Fire teams.
Bravo moves up with Bravo, and Charlie moves up with Charlie.
Correct. Listen to your fire team lead. Your fire team lead will call moving, and you all move with your fire team lead.
Okay.
I will also require that there be no more than 2 people per piece of cover. Y'all ready?
Sir.
Alright, guns up. Exercise starts with the first smoke. Remember to call a contact report, and then Bravo team will be moving first.
Contact
east. Distance around 80 meters. Red smoke.
Okay. Bravo, move. Space.
Fire team lead should call all movements in squad comms.
Set.
Sorry, my bad.
Bravo team, call Bravo set. Bravo set. Charlie team, that's your cue to call moving.
Contact. Northeast. About 50 meters.
Charlie, call set when you are.
Gun up.
Charlie team, call set when you're ready.
Charlie set.
Bravo, get
Reloading.
Just call moving. Don't get ready to move. Just call moving. Just reloading. Remember, bounding is all about moving.
Contact east.
Towards the left.
50 meters. White smoke.
Bravo, move towards the left. Bravo,
Contact
set.
southeast, please.
Reloading. Gun up.
Charlie, move.
Contact 105 degrees, 200 meters, blue smoke.
Affirm.
Charlie, set.
Reloading.
Bravo, move.
Set.
Bravo, set. Bravo, set.
Charlie, move. Charlie, set.
Reloading.
Okay, Bravo, get ready.
Gun up.
Contact.
Right, Bravo, move.
East southeast. 50 meters. White smoke.
Okay, we're moving up a
Set.
bit further to the red smoke.
Moving.
Move all the way to the red smoke, Bravo.
Set.
Alright, ceasefire, ceasefire. Alright guys, that was pretty good. I want you guys, the fire team leads, to be calling out the moving a little bit more. Remember, bounding is all about moving quickly but safely. For every second that we are continuing to bound, we are using more of our ammo. Alright, so Bravo team, go ahead and take cover at the nearest cover that is not this rock face. And then we're going to bound back. Same way, Charlie, go ahead and move up to the furthest east cover.
The moon over here. The mundo.
No, furthest east.
The mundo over here.
there.
On me.
Over there.
Domindo.
Does anyone have any other inputs you wanted to say before we go? I will actually go around and put down ammo bags for you guys, because I know you just used a shitload of ammo.
Thank you. What?
Thank you, sir.
Can I have some?
What?
Can I have some?
Does it disappear or something?
The mundo, let's try to send
disappeared.
some piece of
Thank you.
Does everyone get ammo? Didn't realize ammo bags disappear. Everyone got their ammo? Great. Alright, we're going to be going back. Again, first call is going to be on the smoke. Might see some Russians somewhere in there too, so make sure to look out for them. You're bounding back, remember.
Contact. 75 degrees.
Contact is 10 meters. White smoke.
20 meters.
Single fire, engage.
Smoke.
Charlie, move back.
Reloading.
Reloading. Did it say Charlie move back?
Charlie team, call moving.
Oh, Charlie, move.
Tang dang!
Reloading. Contact southeast.
Charlie
20
set.
meters. Enemy infantry. Bravo. Move. Back.
Contact report should be called in squad comms. Bravo, set.
move.
50 meters.
Contact east, blue smoke, 100 meters.
Contact
That's
southeast, 10
Reloaded.
meters. Red smoke.
Charlie set.
Bravo, move.
Reloading.
Bravo, moving.
From
Bravo, set.
west smoke. East, 20 meters. White smoke.
Reloading.
Charlie move.
Contact report should always be in squad comms, not local.
Contact east, 50 meters.
Charlie
right
set.
Contact
Contact
southeast,
northeast,
5 meters.
close,
White
10
smoke.
Right, Bravo, get ready to move.
White smoke.
Bravo, move.
We'll call. Reloading.
I get concealment in these bushes.
Concealment.
Contact northeast, east, 10 meters. Rush it.
Hey, Bravo, come back into the pit. Don't go past the road.
Alright.
Gun up.
Into pit, Bravo.
Contact northeast, east,
Bravo, set.
5 meters.
Contact
Charlie,
is 10 meters on the rock.
Contact.
Contact northeast, 10 meters. In front of the
Ceasefire,
rock infantry.
Ceasefire. Get some ammo. Just a reminder, guys, contact report should always be in squad comms, not in local. This means that the squad leader will always be able to hear what's going on.
Gotcha.
Any of you guys have any additional feedback from what happened? Alright. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to move from this exercise to a bigger one then.
All right.
Guys, go ahead.
Well, great job, everybody. Like legit, that's actually pretty good. Seems all of you guys got it down pretty good. So, just a reminder: bounding is all about getting from point to point quickly, and make sure you guys maintain some decent spacing. And of course, while one element is moving the other, make sure that the other element is capable of providing covering fire. That's the abridged recap that your SLs will have given you. So we're gonna go ahead and get you guys into our final exercise. If your SLs haven't done so already, they should have told you. Go ahead and press the tilde key on the left-hand side of your keyboard, just above your tab key, or to the left of your 1 key. The console will come up, and I want you all to type respawn, then press enter. After you do that, go ahead and spawn at Golf 1358, and await further instructions from your SLs.
Tristan 5.
See what?
Oh.
Weapon check.
Okay, what the hell? Okay, what the hell?
Don't hold your guns. Don't hold your guns.
Load
Safety shovels, guys. Safety shovels.
Gather around us.
Alright, cool. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys, just in case if you guys are being a little slow spawning in, a quick kind of rundown as to what's going on. I'm going to start here in Discord, just to explain. So we're going to run through this as if it's like a actual one-life operation. So in a moment now, I'm going to give you guys a platoon debrief as your commander in local comms. So you're all standing around waiting. Your SLs will have said, "Oh, hey, platoon brief, come in. Let's get this underway." Pretty simple stuff. I'm going to lay out the plan. Your SLs are going to follow that plan, and yeah. So hope you guys are ready. All right. So Thank you everyone for showing up this evening. My name is Stalker, and I'll be your commander for today's operation, Operation Dodgeball. Because remember, the 5 rules: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Simply put, we have been tasked with assaulting the village and neutralizing whatever sort of stronghold Op 4 has built up within and destroying their communications equipment. Now, how we intend on doing that is, if you could all go ahead and please open up your maps. I want Squad 1. You guys are going to be... Sorry, Squad 1, you guys are going to be approaching from the southeast, starting at the helmet mark. Right. Roughly following that line. I mean, it's pretty simple. You guys are just going straight in, maybe to the... Oh, goodness. I suck with these markers. So roughly following this line to the southeast of the compound. Squad 2 will be approaching from the southwest. They are... I'm going to have them be the hab mark. And you guys are going to be following that line to the southwest of the compound. It's a pretty straightforward approach for a pretty straightforward mission, but be aware these guys are armed and desperate, so on approach, make sure you guys are bounding up by fire teams, seeking adequate cover wherever you can find it. This open terrain here, well, here, just in general, it's pretty open terrain, can be kind of unforgiving. And so I need to remind you, make sure you call out any local contacts, any contacts you may see. Once you get to the village, clear it, and then we need you guys securing the perimeter as soon as possible. We've got no idea what kind of heat these guys are packing, and if there are more of them out there. So keep your eyes peeled for potential reinforcements. It's a really straightforward, just assault, capture, secure. Does anybody here have any questions before we move on? Anything for me, if anything?
Are there actually hostiles out there, or is it just targets?
There are actual hostiles at this compound. This is a live fire exercise. They will be shooting at you, so be careful. You could die. Make sure you're shooting to kill. This is a live fire exercise.
Exercise and you can die, okay.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, here in video games.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Alright guys, we're a little shy on enemies, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and shoot you guys in the forehead. I'm gonna let your SLs take over here, and we're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna break you guys out, and we'll get ready to go.
Alright guys, come with me. Alright guys, pretty simple stuff. We're going to be moving up along the lines. So we're going to be moving along this line. We're going to try to stay outside of the big ass open field here. So staying on the tree line. Bravo team is going to be on the east side. Charlie team is going to be on the west side as we go. We're going to be in fire team wise files. So Bravo's going to be in a file on the east side. Charlie's going to be a file on the west side. Kind of a staggered column together. We're going to move in to engage the area from the southeast, trying to take these buildings on the east side of the southern portion. Then we're going to move over to take over the whole bottom section, and then push north into the area. Anyone have any questions on the plan? Alright, at some point, big yellow letters will show up. It'll say live. We're going to pull guns out, and we're going to get over there. Fire teams, go ahead and break us out into lines, or files.
Right, Bravo on me.
Make sure you have your 15-meter spacing.
Dembring up front.
You'll find that 15 meters is a little bit far for this. I'd recommend closer to 10 meters.
10 meters? Alright.
Just a little bit closer.
Like, I have a good rule of thumb, like, spacing wise. You should have kind of as much as you can, but you need to be able to see your teammates. So, big open field, you could probably have more than 50 meters, whereas in the woods, kind of need less.
Alright, we're live. Guns up. Let's move north.
Alright, you lead the way.
Move. Start flipping.
Looks like there's 50 cals out there. I see some Hescos. Bravo team, go ahead, lay down some covering fire on the village. Charlie team, you're going to bound past.
Copy.
Bravo team, get online. Let's get some suppressing fire.
Bravo, on a line.
I'll farm.
Suppressing fire now. Open fire.
Dude, right there. Yep.
Open fire is a command, not a request.
Get this. Oh, we had nothing to open fire at. Hey, Denver, get cover.
Stay west. Follow me.
Bravo, the line.
Demundo, stay with your buddy.
Charlie moving.
Your buddy. Get up with your
Bravo
buddy.
set.
Over there.
I don't need to. Ah.
Hey, Rap, he's over there.
Charlie set.
Bravo moving. Charlie, make sure you're covering where Bravo's moving to.
Contact northwest. About 50 meters up the hill. Machine gunner.
Right. Bravo set.
Charlie move.
Oh! Wire on the other side.
Log out for razor wire, guys.
Charlie set. Contact close northwest. About 10 meters.
Affirm. Reloading. Guns up. Contact northwest 10 meters. Infantry in the bush.
Contact.
Building.
Window.
Contact.
Second story.
Contact is about 10 meters. I don't know where it is. I don't know what it is.
Infantry.
Keep watching
Second
our
story
west
of the
side.
building.
Yeah.
Hey, Squally, you want us to get across this wall? Let's get over this wall. Let's take these buildings. Alright. Bravo moving.
Wilco.
Start shooting on the wall.
I'm stuck in fucking barbed wire. Thanks.
Reloading.
Set.
Let's move it. Let's start moving.
Okay, Denver, cover to the east.
Hop over.
Rest of us cover forward.
Go.
Contact is
Bravo
about
set.
10 minutes.
Alright, Charlie move.
Contact northwest. 100 meters. Enemy infantry. Charlie team, I need you to go clear that yellow house to the east. Charlie team, move to clear the yellow house to the east.
Reloading.
Roger. Bravo team, provide some cover.
Charlie moving.
Bravo set.
Charlie set. Charlie set.
Keep clearing. Starting point.
Bravo, get some northern security.
Contact now.
Bravo, I need some northern security, please. Yeah, Bravo, fire north.
Contact north about 100 meters. Infantry.
Squad, take a look. Northwest, 50 meters. There's a Russian flag. They're probably coming out of there.
Contact northwest, 100 meters, Russian flag. Gun up.
Contact.
From command, looks like we have to cross this road. Charlie team, you are crossing. Bravo team, suppressing fire. Charlie team cross, Bravo team suppress.
Charlie move.
Bravo set.
Reloading.
Charlie team is set. Bravo team, reload and go.
Gun up.
Bravo, move. Bravo moving.
Affirm.
Let's clear these houses moving west.
Shack is clear.
Clear.
Broken house is clear.
Clear.
Charlie team, as we move west, I want you to have eastern security. Bravo team, take point. Move west.
Right, Bravo, we're moving west.
Affirm.
Radio on me. Friendly.
Roger.
Yep, blue.
Affirm.
Friendly.
Arthur dig down.
Our Bravo team take up area here. Charlie team, take up the area to the east. Take security. Bravo team, take northern security. Charlie team, take eastern security. We got to secure this point.
Looking south.
Right, Bravo,
looking south.
just get down right here.
This just
Looking
in,
north.
enemy counterattack may be coming in. Take eyes. Look around, figure out where they're coming from.
Okay, Dembring, cover towards 60.
Negative.
I want Haiti to cover north.
Copy.
And
Affirm.
Rokai, cover northwest.
You are not to move.
Roger. Copy.
Looking north.
Right, squad lead Bravo's covering north sector.
Looking west.
Hey, yep. Right. Gonna get some sandbags up.
Radio's down.
Right, one by one, get sandbags up. When I'm done, I want you to dig some sandbags, then bring.
Affirm. Wilco.
But not everyone at once, 'cause we need guns pointing north.
Alright, here comes in the supply drop. You can treat
Okay, you
that
can
much
start
like
digging
a,
down,
ammo crate.
80.
Be advised, ammo crates have been placed. We're go ahead and utilize them to arm from the
Contact north. Seems like one infantry.
You are free to engage.
Contact north.
I have no visual. Say again. Contact report. Over.
It was north. I think he peeked.
Ammo's in the ammo crates. Take a look on your map.
Getting ammo.
Right, getting ammo.
Set.
Okay, set. Hey, Rokai, got sandbags?
Thank you.
Stay in cover,
Hey,
guys.
Rokai, come up here.
We already saw contact to the north, so keep eyes out.
Affirm.
Okay, Rokai, go get
don't
ammo
know.
if you haven't. Hey, Rokai, take this sector right here, towards the northwest. And Haida, you could take north.
Affirm.
I'm
Now
gonna be
just-
AFK for a moment. Oh my gosh.
Okay, lay down then. Hey, Dembrain, did you get ammo?
No, I need some.
Right.
Contact.
Contact,
North. 300 meters. Enemy infantry. Open up.
West.
100 meters. Charlie, enemy. Charlie, rotate north.
West, contact west.
Copy, Charlie, move.
Contact north. 200 meters. Enemy infantry.
Contact northwest.
Contact west.
100 meters on the bridge.
100 meters. Enemy vehicle. Hey guys, start moving south. We gotta get out of here. Enemy gunner is dead. Roger. Move south. Moving. Charlie team, cover.
Alright, Bravo, follow
Enemy
me.
contact west at the berm, right by the. God.
Set.
Okay. Fire northwest.
Bravo set. Bravo set.
Contact northwest. 50 meters.
Great, Charlie, fire team leader. Charlie team, go ahead, start bounding south.
Reloading.
You do not want to be here when those guys show up. Get out of here, get out of here.
Contact northwest. 100 meters.
All
Red
squad,
smoke.
fall back. Charlie squad leader, Bravo set.
Charlie solid that. Fighting
Mundo, come south.
Reloading.
Check your space.
Hey,
check
you
your
contact
space.
before you see anything. Contact.
We got
Guns
contact.
up.
Due north.
100 meters. Enemy infantry.
Get out of
North.
here, guys. Get out. Go.
Contact northwest. 50 meters. Russian infantry. On the flat.
I think Charlie's down. Bravo, head back.
Bravo team, fall back.
Reloading. Reloading.
Right, Charlie team's all good.
Get over here, guys. Charlie team is very
Bravo.
dead.
Yep.
Keep falling back, guys. Keep falling back. Buddy teams will cover other buddy teams.
Right, me and Dembrain will be buddy team 1, whereas you two other guys
Yeah,
will
me
be
and
Bravo 2. Let's get some suppressing fire. We don't want them to come over the wall and find us. 330, 50 meters, enemy infantry.
Affirm.
Find cover. Buddy team 1, get cover. Covering. Engage. Right, buddy team 2, I want you to move. Move back.
North. Smoke.
Don't shoot at the smoke, shoot at the enemies. I'm covering you guys with smoke.
Alright, we're set.
Right, buddy team 1, move.
Reloading. Enemy contacts northwest 50 meters.
Time to
Enemy
move, guys.
infantry.
Time to
Contact northwest 100 meters. Enemy infantry.
You guys are
back,
dead.
back.
Respawn at the hab.
Affirm.
1 set.
Buddy 2 set.
Reloading.
Ceasefire, guys. Ceasefire.
Reloading.
Ceasefire,
Come back to the
ceasefire.
hab.
Let's go ahead and if you guys died, go ahead and respawn. Golf 13,
Alright, give it up
5,
to Team Bravo.
5.
Bravo.
So we are the one alive.
Bravo team.
Yeah,
Bravo
we're the
team,
only
best
ones
team.
left.
Tactical retreat.
Alrighty, guys. Well, if you
Come on,
if you
guys.
died, go ahead and spawn Golf 13 5 5.
Come
If
to
you
me.
have not, just follow your squad leader back to the original fob that we started this operation at. Your SLs are going to break you off into quick after action reports to let you guys know what you did right, what you did wrong, kind of, clear up anything. Any sort of feedback is, well, obviously expected. Give you guys about 2-3 minutes to get that going.
Well, that was fun.
Alright, hope you all had a good time. Where's Charlie team?
Hey, come to me, please. Trey, come to me.
Coming.
Alright, hope you all had a good time. We're gonna just a little bit of closing remarks. Tank, you did excellently. I commend you on your abilities. It seems like you've done this before. I can tell.
Thanks.
Dre, I would like to see you taking a little bit more command as a fire team lead, but of course, this is your first time, so it's okay. Just try to pay attention to where your guys' buddies are. Demunda, that's the same for you. There are a few times that you seem to get disconnected from your buddy. Find your buddy, stick to your buddy, stay with your buddy. Otherwise, you guys did really excellently. Great reacting to contact, good contact reports. Remember, the contact
Reports are always in squad cat.
not in local. So I don't want to hear local contact reports because the squad leader can't hear you if you call it in local. Yeah. Otherwise, you guys did great. Go ahead and send me a DM. Doesn't matter what it is. Find me in Discord. Send me a DM. I'm going to send you a feedback form. We are going to ask you to fill out that feedback form. It's really important. It will help us to be better next time. I promise we read it. Just send me a DM. And then listen up for Stalker to give final thoughts. After you've sent me a DM, you are free to leave the squad server.
Alright, guys.
Uh,
Guess I'll see you on the battlefield.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do we have other
Contact.
game? What?
Don't leave Discord, guys.
What?
Contact. 345. 50 meters. I'm infantry. Yeah, look at the guy. He's running towards the left.
Yes, I am.
Look at this guy.
Can we engage?
Don't shoot at any other
can
bad
track
guys.
him
Guys
down.
are weapons closed.
Okay.
After you, remember, send me a DM. As soon as you've sent me a DM, if you don't have any questions for me, leave the squad server.
Alright.
Alright.
Bye.
Love you, boys.
Do we have
Love
other
you,
games?
boys.
Do we have?
Alright, thank you.
No, this is the end of Stop Basic. You're just listening to Stalker. He's going to do a debrief in Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay in Discord. But leave this server
Copy.
after
Roger.
you've sent me a DM.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
I'm missing one of you guys.
All right, so it looks like everybody actually ended up wrapping up their after-action reports. So with that said, I'd like to thank you guys for participating in today's course. We went over structure, communication, movement, and some basic infantry concepts. And I'd say y'all are ready to get out there and kick some ass in our One Life operations. In case I have any newer SLs, which I don't, but just in case they forgot, make sure you guys direct message your SL in Discord. Right quick, we get these feedback forms we'd like you guys to have fill out. They only take about 30 seconds to fill out, and we really value any and all feedback related to today's SOT course and the SOT team. If you think I did well, or if it was just fucking completely awful and you were like, "Ah, dude, soccer sucks," as long as it's holy cow, constructive, tell us. We just asked that, again, yeah, be constructive. Reminder as well that your instructor today was me, Stalker. Now, if you all please leave squad, but stay in the Discord server, as if you leave Discord, we cannot issue your basic certified tag, and therefore you cannot sign up for events until you reach out and get it corrected. With that said, while we kind of get everybody tagged up, I have one final spiel, and then you guys are good to go. You can take off. About squad ops culture, expectations, and ethics. At Squad Ops, the intent is to create immersive and tactical events that allow for teamwork and camaraderie to flourish. There's a focus on cinematic fun rather than competition or egos. It is a platform that is and should always be enjoyable for all participants. Players are expected to be respectful and professional at all times, both in and out of operations, which is a reminder again, this is an 18-plus community by both age and level of maturity. Remember that you are representing the ops community when you participate in an operation. By that I mean operations are often streamed, and you never know when the eye in the sky is watching. If your behavior is less than ideal and it is caught on stream, it could potentially influence others. Let's work together to make sure it's not a negative influence. On that note, remember to have fun. A fun time will be had. It's kind of one of our little mantras. We take the ops seriously, sure, and we ask that you do too. But all in all, it's all about having a good time. Anyways, that is all I have to say about that. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I know it's a bit late. Thank you again for participating in today's SOT Basic. I'll say it one more time. I am Stalker, and I was your instructor today. At this point now, you should have your green Basic Certified tag. If you click your name as it appears in the voice channel on the left-hand side in Discord, you will see you have the tag, and that when you message in the Discord, your name is now green. Of course, that's all fluff, because what you really want is to be able to sign up for events, which you all can do now. So you're free to go. You guys are totally cool. It's totally over. If you have any additional questions, you're free to stick around and ask before we go into our final little staff debrief, where we kind of got to give ourselves feedback.
What is the CQC boot camp?
Preliminarily, it is on the 16th of September. That is not guaranteed, but that is when we have it internally scheduled.
Okay. I will like to turn up to that.
Wonderful. It is
Same
a
here.
good time. We've worked very hard on that course. It's beautiful. It's so fucking fun. I did it a couple years ago when it was like in its infancy, and it was fun. So you guys are having a good time if you can participate in it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all also have like an SL course.
Yes, we do. Oh, well, not an SL course, but a fire team leader course. And preliminarily, we have that internally scheduled for the 29th of September.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Can anyone play as squad leaders in your events?
Squad leaders are reserved for Regs Plus, so if you're around the community for quite a while, you do have the opportunity to squad lead. Fire team leader, on the other hand, is open to anyone who feels like it, and you obviously look better if you have the FTL certification.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go, but I just want to say thank y'all for doing this and helping us out, or well, running the SOT. Also, the map is gorgeous, by the way.
Doing that.
I'm sure Dakram takes a lot of pride in hearing that. Thank you very much. And yes, it's like I said at the beginning, we kind of do this as a barrier so that we don't get anybody coming in here trolling. But I hope you guys did come away learning a lot of new things, or had a good time.
Have a good time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
For sure.
It's a blast. Thanks for the patience.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I was playing Arma.
That was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome. If you guys have no additional questions, you're free to go, or go to a different channel. We do have a quick staff debrief to go through. If you are free to play, we do have our public server pop. Join them in Lounge Bravo and have a good time.
See
Thank
ya.
you. Have a good night.
Alo, alo. Alo, alo.
Rồi tắt ấy nha.
Stream quân.
Tắt đi.
Tắt stream.
Đây.